Talk about Ecuador, where we live, where we are right now.
Okay, a brief history of Ecuador is that it used to be the northern land of the Incan Empire until the Spanish conquest in 1533. And since then they have been subject to the Spanish from Spain. Then in the 1822 of May 24th, they gained their independence in the, you can see it, in Pichincha, in the slopes of it. They gained their independence from it in 1822. And here's some history, the indigenous period. And it was colonial period when the Spanish came over, and they got their independence in 1822. And present-day Colombia, Venezuela, and Ecuador were part of a big country called La Gran Colombia. And there was also a republic period when there were the presidents, and currently the government type of Ecuador is a republic. The current president is Rafael Correa, which the legislative branch consists of a unicameral National Assembly, and the government also gives the president 2 terms, 4 years. Correa finished his first term in 2011, and he was reelected for his second term and is currently president.
Okay, so the capital of Ecuador is Quito, right here where we are. The main language is Spanish. The indigenous population also speaks Quichua and Shuar.
Okay, so the population of Ecuador is 50,439,429. And this was calculated on 11/2013, we estimated. Then we have a big mix of people here in Ecuador between the Spain people, the Spanish people, and the Ecuadorians, the Indians, and they're called the mestizos. So that's a big mix in Ecuadorian. 71.9% are mestizos here in Ecuador. Montubios, 7.4. That's I have no idea how
Montubios.
That's how they would be. And then we're more like Indians, Longos, Indians, these kind of
Paisanos.
exactly paisanos. That's the way. Then Amerindian.
Okay, so Afro-Ecuadorian 7.2%, American are 7%, white are 6.1%, and other are 0.4%, and this was in 2010. So traditional food is usually, depending on where you are, for example here in Quito, the traditional food is guatita, fritada, hornado, yapingacho,
Chauchaca.
and then
locros de papa.
or if you're in Guayaquil, they eat a lot of seafood because they're in the coast. For example, ceviche, camarones, cangrejos, conchas, and all those others. Sports.
Okay, so there's mainly soccer. There's some tennis, a famous tennis player who's in here. But it's really, and then there's kayaking. I didn't thought of that, but actually this weekend I was doing kayaking. So,
Okay. So the currency here in Ecuador is United States dollar. Dollars, yeah. The religious distribution is 85% of the population in Ecuador is Roman Catholic, and 15% are Protestants and other denominations.
then we have the border limits, and Ecuador is bordered with Colombia in the north, Peru on the east and south, and the Pacific Ocean is on the west. That's why here you have the jungle, the coast, and you have mountains.
Yeah. Here is the map of Ecuador, and Ecuador is divided into 4 regions: the coast, Sierra, Amazonia, and insular region, which is most known as Galapagos.
There's 24 provinces in Ecuador, which are mainly bases.
And some of the alliances with Ecuador is that they're main trading with the United States, but in the recent years, President Correa has been trying to get primary alliances with Iran, Russia, and China. And their enemies mostly have been organized crimes with drug use, because some people come down from the border from Colombia. And they come down from Colombia with drugs to make this into a drug capital, and that's the major enemy with them. The most recent wars date back to 1941, and that's when Ecuador lost most of its territory to Peru. And the most recent one is from 1995, which was also with Peru. And that's when they signed the peace treaty ending about the war.
Ecuadorian art. One of the most known artists from Ecuador is Osvaldo Guayasamín. And yeah, so he's really famous all around the world, and his art is all around the world. Okay. So the flag, the Ecuadorian flag has more than one component. It has 3 rows of colors, yellow, blue, and red. And it has a coat of arms in the middle. The yellow stands for represents the treasure of the Inca.
So the money that we own. Blue part of the flag represents the Pacific Ocean, and the blue sky is Ecuador. So you describe like the rivers of Ecuador.
And the red represents the blood of the soldiers that gave their lives on the Pichincha.
The coat of arms. The coat of arms has many things such as Chimborazo, which is a volcano. No,
Is a volcano slash nevado.
Nevado. In Ecuador, Guayas, Rio Guayas is the river that you see in the coat of arms from Ecuador, and the condor on the outside, which is national symbol of Ecuador, like the eagle for the United States. That's the map of Ecuador.
It's a chart of all the ages that Ecuador had going on to independence in the Gran Colombia. Ecuadorian history, as I said, used to be the northern land of the Incan Empire until the Spanish came in 1533, and they gained its independence in 1822.
The main language that people speak in Ecuador is Spanish, and the Native Americans speak Quechua and Shuar, and there are a lot of other little languages all around.
We have words that we speak in Quechua usually. For example, sometimes you say achachay, ñaño, kushki. There's all the words that you speak.
Okay, go.
The Ecuadorian government is a republic, and the president is currently on his 2nd term, and they have a legislative branch.
The population of Ecuador is
15,439,429 since July 2013.
The religious distribution. The religion in Ecuador has little variation. 85% are Roman Catholic and 50% are Protestant and other denominations.
like we said, we're all mixed from mestizos, Montuyos, Afro-Ecuadorians, American, and white, and others.
The current military status is that it has alliances with the U.S. and, as I said, it's trying to be a primary alliance, not just any alliance, but it wants to be first with Iran, China, and Russia. And these alliances are used for trading routes to transport goods. And as I said, that they're trying to make it into a drug country, and they cross the border with drugs. And the most current wars date back to 1941 and 1995, both with Peru.
Does someone have questions?